to 40 Below Fruity. Today I have a delicious recipe for you. It's something that I call apple caramel bars. You'll know that I'm not a huge fan of apples, but I still try to mix it up and keep in local fruits in my diet that we've got during the winter. And I mentioned in one of my other videos, my top 5 winter fruit video, that if you have a winter staple, like dates for example, which is one of my winter staples, you've got to find a way to mix it up. You have different ways of using your staples so that you can get creative and you never feel bored or restricted with your lifestyle. So today, show you just what I've got here. I've got a crust that I've made out of 1 cup of dried mulberries and 1 cup of raisins. I've also put in some raw carob powder and some raw cinnamon. I know a few of you have asked about the mulberries and you're not familiar with them, so this is what they are. They're known as a superfood, but they're really delicious. They have a dry, crunchy texture, and they're very similar to a caramel taste, but they've got that right crust texture without using nuts or seeds. So you can keep it low fat, but still get a delicious dessert. So I'm just going to take the crust that I've created here, just drop it into the pan. If it drops, oh, there we go. And I'm going to press it in with my hands. Don't worry, they are clean. It's too much work with a spatula, so here we go. So you're just going to press it into the pan. It's a little bit sticky. It should stick. If you have any worries about it, you can lightly oil the pan, but you really shouldn't need to. And it should cover the whole thing. There we go. You can just smell the cinnamon and the carob, and it smells so delicious. It makes this thick, nice crust. It's perfect. You could make this into a pie too if you didn't want to make it into bars. You could just put it into a pie plate. You could even dehydrate it a bit after you're done. You don't really need to though, it's thick enough. So, there we go. I've got the crust finished there. And what I'm going to do next is I've got 1 apple. This is a local organic apple. I've just drizzled a little bit of lime juice over it to stop it from oxidizing, and I've diced it up nice and fine. So you're just going to put that straight over the crust there, spread it around so it's all even. Perfect. Okay. Then I'm just going to take about a teaspoon of cinnamon, and which one? There we are. And I'm going to sprinkle it over top of the apples. Cinnamon and apple will just go so well together. And if you didn't want to sprinkle it over the apples because it's too strong or for whatever reason, you could always blend it in with the next thing I'm going to show you, which is the date caramel cream. So now I'm just going to do it this way. I don't mind the strong taste of cinnamon. I find it very pleasant. So there we go. So here is the crust with the apple mixture and the cinnamon sprinkled over top, and it smells so, so good. It smells so fresh. And so, next what I'm going to do, I've got dates here. I've got somewhere between 25 and 30 dates. I didn't count them. You can really use as many as you want in this recipe. And I've got a mixture, so I can get in all the different flavors. And I have bari dates here, and medjool, and kadrawi. You can use any dates you have on hand, even the ones you get in the grocery store. You don't have to order in bulk like I do, although these ones are a lot fresher and they're just really, really tasty. So, I'm just going to put those in the blender there, and I'm also going to add in just a little bit more carob powder because I really just love the flavor of it. So you can add in as much as you want. You can really just tailor this recipe to your needs and your likes. So now that I have the dates in there, I've got about half a cup of water here. I'm just going to pour that in to help it blend. You may need a little more, a little less, depending on how dry your dates are. So just pour that in. And now I'm going to blend it up. So I've just blended up the date caramel cream, and this is what it looks like. It is so creamy and so delicious. You could use this caramel recipe, just simply dates and some raw carob. You could use, if you had access to mesquite powder, it's really delicious, and it just adds like a deep smoky flavor, and it's so, so nice blended with dates. You could add that to this, and you could just eat this. You could eat a big bowl of caramel if you wanted to, or you could dip strawberries in it or fondue, anything like that. But I'm going to put it over my apple cinnamon layer here, and it's going to complete the caramel bar that I'm making. Let's just put it over here. It's really, really gooey. Really, really nice. And a trick for if you're using a spatula like I am, of course you can always just use your hands, that's fine too. But if you're going to use a spatula and you're trying to spread something sticky like this, dip it in water first. It'll make your life so much easier, and it'll make it so much easier to spread. So, see, just spread it around here. Smooth it out. And you could garnish this with fresh apple slices or more cinnamon on top. You can really get creative with it depending on what you want to do. You could bring these to a potluck or a family get-together. Like I said, you can make it in a version of a pie. You can put fresh fruit on top. It's literally limitless what you can do. If you want, you can even blend the caramel cream with other fruit. Like I would choose to use strawberries or frozen bananas, or you can do anything. Actually, frozen banana whip would be really nice on this. You could use my banana ice cream from my cookie dough ice cream recipe and put it over the top here, and it would be so good. So here it is. Here is the date caramel bars. I'm going to let them firm up in the fridge a bit, and then I'm going to cut them into squares, and I will likely enjoy this whole thing for lunch. I actually did last week. I ate almost the whole pan, and I didn't even realize I'd done it until I finished. And it's a lot of food, and it's very filling, but it's one of the beauties of the raw food lifestyle is you can eat all you care for. So I'm going to. I hope you will, and I hope you enjoy these delicious caramel apple bars, and I will see you next time.